but hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. It's definitely obvious. I love the story they've built up. You know, they've been tagging together. Jey Uso's been doing Roman Reigns' heavy work, and Reigns, the guy, kind of got to sit back. But at the same time, he's developing this animosity like, hey, Jay's pretty good. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to take him down to the pay-per-view. This is going to be great. I love it. I hope this is still, even through this match, I hope they can come together and be the Bloodline, because that's something everybody's wanted for a long time, even if they didn't get heel Roman. You know, heel Roman with heel Usos and Paul Heyman will be amazing.
Should be good, I would think.
Plus, then I think Roman has a strong chance of not even losing to Brock when Brock comes back and Heyman turns on him. You know what I mean? Because he's got the Bloodline, so there's 3 of them, and maybe he can just swat Brock away the first time and be done with it. That'd be cool. Get him out of the Universal picture altogether.
That actually would be kind of cool. I worry, though, I think that Roman Reigns, you never know because it's The Rock, but The Rock recently said he'd love to put Roman Reigns over at WrestleMania. If he goes to WrestleMania, I don't see him and Rock for the championship. I don't see the champion, because you don't need the championship for that. You know, you don't
unless
need that
you want to do it 2 years in a row and have The Rock cut some promos over the next 12 months.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. You know, it would be...
Also, by that time, I think Jimmy and Jay would be on The Rock's side. You know, Roman's gone too far off the rails, and they can't back him up anymore. And so The Rock comes in to try to rein Roman in.
It would be kind of cool to see when Heyman turns on Reigns, and if they have the Bloodline.
What if it's during or after that match at Mania against The Rock? Holy shit! And Brock gets involved.
That could be interesting. But I'm just thinking, what if you had, like, I don't know if they'd have Sika. I don't know if they'd do that, but you could have Rikishi as a manager.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I think I would prefer Sika, but you know, I don't think enough.
I think you'd have to have as many of the Samoan dynasty at ringside as possible for the match.
Just the whole Anoa'i family.
And then Samoa Joe sitting like 8 chairs away.
Right. Be good stuff.
Yeah, no, this should be a good match. And it'll be followed by an incredibly horrible match. That should probably open the show or go somewhere in the middle of the card. Of course, we're talking about
the pre-show.
Yeah, there you go. It's an ambulance match, folks, for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. Where the fuck is Keith Lee?
Where's Keith Lee?
Is he going to join Retribution? Is that going to be a thing? Put a big leather like ball gag in his mouth.
Go.
His name is Flap Tits.
You could go all Pulp Fiction on it, baby. Or you could do what's his name from Mad Max? Humongous. He could be Humongous from Mad Max with the little. No, he should do Sean Connery from Zardoz. Give him that outfit. I don't know if anybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But go to your Google machine, folks, and look up Zardoz and look at Sean Connery's fucking outfit. I want to see Keith Lee in that so bad now. No, I want to see that. You know what? Before we break this down, we obviously have a little bit of time. Should we actually, let's wait. Let's talk about this after this match. I'm sorry. I'm getting behind myself.
Okay. Who's going to win? Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. I hate to say it because I love me some Drew Galloway, but they seem to really want to do something with Orton, and I could see them giving him one more run. I'd say
Drew's going to take it back. You know what I mean? It's just give him another run with it. Why not?
Yeah. He deserves one more before he calls it quits, and he's probably calling it quits in the next few years. You would think. But yeah, we're going Randy Orton. Have you heard anything about this being a cinematic thing or not? I haven't heard anything about it being cinematic.
I've heard 0 reports of anything cinematic with this event.
They seem to be trying to do at least one every pay-per-view, and this you would think would be the one, but I don't want it to be, but then again, I don't like ambulance matches to begin with, so I don't really want to see it at all. Maybe
isn't it weird?
cinematic
Like, there's
better.
no Strowman, there's no Fiend.
Not really, because they don't have titles.
I just feel like it's strange. I feel like this pay-per-view is missing a lot of main players that they usually have on their pay-per-views, which is probably a good thing. But
Well, yeah, it is a C, maybe a B-list pay-per-view, so I don't ever expect much from them. I don't expect much from their A-list pay-per-views. A lot of times the B-list ones, C-list ones are way better. Well, Pasty, you and I have like all but one, maybe two different picks. Actually, I think just one in it.
It's
yeah.
two.
Is it two? Oh, yeah, the tag team and the ladder match.
Yeah.
So we need to have a tiebreaker, Pasty, and with all this retribution crap going on, I think the tiebreaker should be, does retribution interfere in a match at the pay-per-view? But before we get into it, do we want to go into they made their debut or their re-debut or the unmasked, or they didn't really unmask because they have masked.
The group that's been wreaking havoc in WWE got hired by WWE and given masks. One of which looks like a paper snowflake my daughter cut out. One looks like Bane, and they put it on Dijakovic, whose name isn't Dijakovic anymore. It's much simpler. T-Bar.
T-Bar.
The snowflake is Slapjack.
Slapjack.
Mace was the third name, and it's the guy. Huh?
Where's that Dio Madden? Shane Thorne or Dio Madden?
Shane Thorne is Slapjack, and Dio Madden is Mace.
Mace.
Which is funny because of everything going on in the world and the riots and protests, and then getting maced, and he's a black guy.
You know what? Honestly, talking now that you say that, I guess hearing T-Bar and Slapjack, I assumed Mace like a spiked club.
That makes sense, I guess.
It goes with the theme. Although the women's names really don't go with the theme, and I actually like them a funk of a lot better.
Do they have names now? Because from what I had heard, they had only announced 3 names.
Mia Yim is Reckoning, and Mercedes Martinez is Retaliation. And those work.
Yeah,
I
that
think,
works,
so much better
especially
with
as a tag team.
They're Retribution, and Reckoning and Retaliation are different, or synonyms for Retribution, or homonyms, or hymonyms.
Why couldn't they make our names for everybody?
Or at least things that have to do with Retribution.
Yeah.
And T-Bar, of all things. Like, I get it, Mace is a weapon, Slapjack is a weapon. T-Bar is just basically something you do in construction. I mean, I guess that's all I know of. Is
that like a crowbar? I've been confused about this the whole time. Like, what the fuck is a T-bar? Because a crowbar is more like a J. So wouldn't he be J-bar?
Right.
What the fuck is a T-bar?
The only T-bars I know, the first one that I think of is a T Allen wrench. I've just always called them T-bars. Give me a T-bar this size.
Allen wrench.
But,
that should be his name.
A T-bar you also use in construction. It's kind of, it could be, it would hurt if you hit people with it, but it's used for like poles and fences. It's basically just a T-shaped bar with a flat metal plate at the bottom that you just slam down on the ground. So I prefer rebar. Rebar would be better. At least rebar is a common weapon.
Yeah.
And it's all caps too. It's like, is it an acronym? I don't know.
Who
Weird
the fuck
names.
knows?
I didn't think the promo was bad. People made it sound like it was awful. I didn't think it was awful. Mia Yim looked badass in her mask. I'll say that. The only thing is, when she was talking, it kept like trying to fall off, and then it kept interfering with the microphone, so she'd muffle out every now and then. So they kind of got to work on the masks. But whether the masks look cool or silly or what you think about them, it's smart marketing from WWE right now, where everybody is wearing masks to have these and have everyone different, because throw them up on WWE Shop and you're going to make bank.
After that segment, everybody's going to run to WWE Shop to buy their shitty masks. We all seen what the Fiend masks look like. Nothing like they do on him.
So it'll be, I don't know. I think it's weird that they announced they gave them contracts, and then the one announcer said, now that they have contracts, they can do anything they want and go anywhere they want. Isn't that the exact opposite? If you have contracts, Don't you have to follow the rules?
They can't even have Twitch accounts. What are you talking about?
They can't even have Twitch accounts. Son of a bitch. But it's interesting. They're doing something. I give them credit for doing something. I mean, let's be honest. This isn't starting out any worse than the Dark Order started out.
No, yeah.
I did think it was weird.
You got to stop giving Dijakovic the microphone, though. He's not your guy to be talking. You should probably have Mia Yim talk if anybody's going to talk.
Let her.
Or Dio Madden, who, was an announcer.
Right? Who's got the voice. And I think it's weird that they're still, even now that they got all this, they're still having like 20 indie wrestlers or whatever come ringside dressed in all black and having black hoods and masks covering them. Let's just have the core group of 5.
I think so, but I do think they're going to Dark Order it where there's going to be a leader that comes along later.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them adding to it also. I just don't like the faceless goons that come out of nowhere because they should just always be there then. That should,
It's funny to know that WWE sees the Dark Order. You know what I mean? Like, AEW is one thing, but when you're actually looking at their gimmicks and stables and characters, and you're like, yeah, we got to replicate that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's interesting. It's, like I said, it's something different, I guess. WWE's always done best when they copy other people's ideas, let's be honest. Really.
Yeah.
DX was NWO, Vince McMahon turning heel after Eric Bischoff turned heel. You had Attitude Era was just ECW light.
Mm-hmm. They've
always just borrowed. Which is fine. Everybody does it. Everybody in wrestling does it. But
it is funny because Retribution looks like a big budget Dark Order, but they feel like your dollar store Dark Order. I don't know. I like that feeling. I don't know. I'm an AEW guy, though.
Right. I'm still on the fence about that because Dark Order did start out so shitty. So I'm still on the fence of which, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Dark Order has John Silver, and John Silver is probably my favorite personality in that company.
I just haven't really seen much of the Dark Order since Brody Lee came there, so I don't really have much to base it on, really.
You kind of have to watch Being the Elite to get a lot of like the lore and backstory of them and just see how they are.
Yeah, but see, I come back to I don't like that they do that.
I get it.
I think you shouldn't have to watch,
or at least recap it on the show.
Yeah. Or just or have Being the Elite kind of be your, superstars, or, they used to have recap shows back in the day of what happened. Have it be that and have them do little skits in between or something that don't really affect the storylines, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Being the Elite works. It's huge. They get tons of viewers on it, so I'm not one to dog on it. To me, I just don't like that they're asking me to go on YouTube and watch another half-hour show to know what's going on in their 2-hour show, followed by their 1-hour show.
I mean, you don't have
then they
to.
throw an extra
You're just going to enjoy
show.
it as much as you do as compared to as how much I do.
Right. No, I get it. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense, but no, I do believe, I do agree though. John Silver is a hell of a talent, and I think he'll do good there. I think he'll break out from the Dark Order and be a good singles guy.
Yeah. I wonder if he's not going to be the thread that breaks the Dark Order up in the end, where you see him squaring off with Brody.
Right.
That would be cool, and I would love to see Brody throw him around.
It'd be interesting. I'm trying to think. I think he didn't I don't think he was in CZW until after Moxley left, but there might be something in there with him and Mox both being CZW guys,
Oh, yeah? Yeah, see, I wasn't familiar with John Silver at all before AEW, but he's a guy I just want to hang out with. Like, let's get him on the podcast. He'd be fun as hell just to talk to.
Right. Oh, for sure. I agree. So